Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Iva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Kashova Iva Jaya Chande Arati Kashova
Sanjaya Mukunda Goshari Gaya Sanjaya Mukunda Bhatu Gochari Gaya Sanjaya Mukunda Bhatu Gochari Gaya Shankara Bhaji Ganta Bhaje Chandra Badhana Bye. Gora Bhakta Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadika Gaura Bhakta Vrina Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gaura Bhakta Vrina Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare
Jamashnapad Paramahamsa Parivajagachar Shtadar Sadashi Srimad is the Vanguard Sabhayachar Bhaktivedanta Guru Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki is Kanvipiti founder Acharya is the Vanguard Srila Prabhupada Ki Jamashnapad Paramahamsa Parivajagachar Shtadar Sadashi Srimad is the Vanguard Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Thakur Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Garadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Vaishnava Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Jamuna Maya Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shrimati Vrinda Devi Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai Shri Gadar Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada's Transcendental Books Distribution Ki Jai Brihat Mardanga Ki Jai Shri Paramakartai Gaur Chandra Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baldeva Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai Samveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi All glories to the Assembly of the Devotees All glories to the Assembly of the Devotees All glories to the Assembly of the Devotees All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Pinami, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gaurvani Prachadini, Yurvishesha Shunyavadi Pashakya Deshikari.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Hiranyakashe Durvakraha. Shilatankana Kalaye. Ito Nasingha Parato Nasingha. Yato Yato Yamita Nasingha. Nasingha Hridaye Nasingha. Narasingha Madim Sharanam Prapade. Utava Karatamalavari Naka Adbhuta Galita Hiranyakashipo Tano Vringa Vishwavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we'd like to begin by taking this opportunity to welcome all the devotees who are joining us for this evening's special program. So as you are aware, this is tonight mark the second evening of celebrating and commemorating the 5th anniversary celebration of Hare Krishna Study Center. I'm very happy and we'd like to thank you very much for tuning in, for those of you who are joining virtually, and also for the few devotees who are here physically with us. Such a pleasure. So tonight, as you remember, for those of you who were with us last night, it was very auspicious last night. We had wonderful kirtans and then some special presentations, mostly recollections from various devotees. Sorry about that. So tonight would be similar program is there. We're going to have some presentations and in between will be some mixtures of kirtans. So we hope wherever you are joining us, please, we do hope you will enjoy the celebration here with us, even though not everyone can be here physically, but nevertheless, we hope you will take full advantage and, as we continue to celebrate, just to give you a highlight of the program schedule for the upcoming days. So tomorrow evening will be another session, will be the third session, and we'll have a little bathing ceremony. It's called Snan Yatra of Lord Jagannath. And the following day on Saturday, there'll be Friday, and then on Saturday we'll have Rath Yatra. So Rath Yatra will be held right in the temple room here. And then on Sunday we'll have a grand program officially observing and celebrating the 5th anniversary of ISKCON of Guyana Hare Krishna Study Center. So on Sunday there will be special presentations, especially for us to hear some of the achievements the center has gained throughout the last 5 years or so, and also to make some projections, set some goals so that we can work towards that in the upcoming years. So we do hope you're comfortable wherever you are, and we're going to begin officially this already. We have had wonderful Gora Arti to their lordships, Srishinitaya Gora Chandra, and we're going to continue this evening. First, to invite someone who has been very dedicated, very close to Hare Krishna Study Center. We'll say then Nimai Pandit Study Center. From those days coming up, he has been such a foundational member of our Yatra, of our temple here. And we'd like to introduce him. He's no other than His Grace Sanjaya Prabhu. Haribo! So, just to give you a glimpse, Sanjaya Prabhu, as far as I can remember, since the beginning of the construction, the foundation stage, he was here, part of the construction team. He was one of the workers, masoners, carpenters, and he would have been there throughout the different phases of the construction, the steel fabrication, the putting up of the walls, and all the works. Throughout these years, he have been there continuously, and along with him, Bharti Mataji has been there to give him full support, and we very much acknowledge that, and we'd like to thank them both for their continuous service over the years. Later on, as the temple would have been inaugurated, Prabhuji would have served as secretary of the local management board, and then now he's currently serving as a treasurer. So let us all invite and welcome Sanjaya Prabhu. So he'll be giving his experience, his recollections as being part of the project during the construction and also during the grand inauguration festival. Over to Sanjaya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So I'd like to begin this evening by welcome each and every one of you for this wonderful program. All the devotees who are joining us on the different media, please bless me so that I can have that knowledge, recollect those thoughts and activities that had unfolded to this beautiful, magnificent temple. So I would like to ask our Kirtan Prabhu, our technical staff, to put that image on the screen, please. What do you think that looked like? It looked like someone going to play school trying to draw something. No, but if I said no, that is not someone going to play school, attending a play school, but it is actually our beautiful temple. All those who believe that is our beautiful temple, you've seen on the screen. Show by raising your hand, please. Thank you very much. Yes, it is our beautiful temple. Many of days, I was fortunate to be in the project committee, and that committee had quite stalwarts for devotees. For example, His Grace Prabhupada Deva Prabhu, Krishna Prabhu, and we had Prabhu also in that committee. So on one occasion, we were debating in our meeting how we should go about doing this project. And eventually, one brilliant idea came about that let us just put up one steel, and the committee members, the villagers, and the passerby will see that there is only one steel, and they will come forward to give a donation to complete this project. So this was one of the brilliant ideas. And also I can remember I was just passing, we were functioning at lot 13, so I'm going to give you as it is. So as I'm speaking, it is as it is what transpired. I was passing at lot 13, and the project committee had their meeting. And His Grace Prabhu asked me where I'm going. I said, Prabhu, I'm going home. He said, okay, you sit here. You now become an official member of the project committee. Just like that, it happened. So, like that, every morning we report to site, and one very amazing thing would have happened is that the brahmacharis had a special morning program. Meaning, after full morning program at lot 13, they will come over at lot 1 on the what do you call it, the floor, the ground floor, just the ground floor you would see. And they would do kirtan for a few minutes, at least for half an hour. And I could remember those devotees like Shuddha Prabhu and all the brahmacharis. Jananivas Prabhu also was there. They were performing kirtan, doing kirtan for the purification of this temple and the manifestation of this temple also. So like that, the brahmacharis, devotees, and during the day, there would be many devotees who would visit, well-wishers would visit, donors would visit, and like that. And they always inquire, what is it you building? What is it you building? And we would say that we building a temple. We building a temple. And after that, a few months would have passed, and it coming to the opening. As time coming close, I think it was after we returned from India in 2016, that was March, and we were planning to open in July. And we had a meeting with our GBC, His Grace Srila Bhaira Bahu Maharaj. And in that meeting, he indicated to us that the project going to finish when it finished. So one of us asked Maharaj, what do you mean by that, Maharaj? He said, if we cannot offer it for ISKCON and Guyana 50th, then surely we can do it for the 54th or 52nd. Let us don't take any rush. We take our time and do it. But there was someone who couldn't take that, and that person was His Grace Prabhupada Prabhu, and he started to mobilize. At one time, I could remember there were 80 personnel, 80 workers on site from different groups of contractors. For example, we had Pepi Prabhu and his group. We had Sardesh Prabhu and his group. We had like boys from M&M with the volunteers and workers to finish this project. And just the night before the project opened, just the night before, this was on the 12th, I could remember Vamadev Prabhu called me up in his office, in his room. I was responsible for site preparation. And he said, Prabhu, what is happening out there? I don't think you're going to finish. I cannot see the trench is covered as yet. What happened? So all I could do to ease his anxiety was tell him, Prabhu, that it's going to finish. You don't worry. Little do I know, I myself don't know how it's going to finish. But I can take strength from, as these international devotees was coming. All of us here, our local devotees here, we were tired. We were lack of energy. And as these devotees was coming in, from the international devotees was coming to our temple, coming to the center, coming for the grand opening, I could remember that they were all puzzled. They cannot see how it would manifest, but I will tell you how it will manifest. Can you show back this screen? Thank you very much. Can you put the temple photograph, the temple one side of that? Yes. So how this manifests to a beautiful temple is by all the blessings of the devotees, the hard work of the devotees, the well-wishing heart of our donors, and every single one that came together and produced our temple. Look at it. From a just kindergarten school drawing to a beautiful temple. It can only be possible by when devotees come together and work together, and this is the result. This is our result. That we offer this. I can remember many of these that the devotees, especially Rukumchand Prabhu and also Satyasutta Prabhu, they were the security guard at our site. They were our security guard at our site, and it's amazing. We had a lot of steel. And one day I remember the fabricated contractor, Mr. Motilal, he called and said he coming out to erect the building, put up these steel structures. And I can remember on that day there were so many photographs taken, and also Kirtan Prabhu, he was a very small boy, come home from school. He came from Swami Ashkananda school that evening, and when he saw these columns at the back of the temple room was erected, he started to jump. We had a little shed. He bring his camera, jump on that shed, and was taking out some photograph. And it was an amazing sight when those steels was going up. I can remember Vishaka and Sarva, they were at lot 13. They came over and they were even holding the rope, just to hold the rope but let the steel raise. So it is amazing the effort, the sincerity, what the devotee did to produce from A to B, or before and after. You can look at it. So this is my message to you. Let us all continue. I can remember also that in that opening, the thing that catch my eyes is that our grand dinner, our dinner we had at the temple hall. The temple hall dinner was such laid out that Vamane Prabhu did a very magnificent job by laying out the temple. The Prasadam hall was laid out in such a way that even Marriott, Pegasus, and when we were in India in 2016, Satyam Prabhu took us to that is it. Satyam Prabhu took us to a 5-star restaurant, and it was nothing near or come close to that. So after the dinner, devotees would have came in the prasadam hall and there was taken prasadam, and that the feelings of satisfaction, the feelings, the facial expression, and the emotion the devotees was given in that prasadam hall is something to cherish. All of us who were there at that time is something to also cherish. We should cherish those memories. I also could remember on our project is that we had devotees like Jaigur Prabhu also. He was the clerk of work at one time. We call him clerk of work. He would see that, okay, we get materials and mark us present. When we come report to duty, he would mark us present. He was living in a little shack at the bottom there. And Jaigur Prabhu, thank you very much for those memories you give to us. Thank you very much. And one thing on that opening day, when the GBC was speaking and gave his reflection, gave the importance of this temple, there was something very amazing he mentioned. And that also, before I go to that, in one of our meeting also, when he looked at our signboard at the side of our temple here, he see University of Guyana. And I just want to indicate this to the devotees, what he had said when he saw that sign, University of Guyana. He said, that sign worth billions of dollars. Probably could remember that? Yes, sure. That sign worth billions of dollars. The University of sign that we have on the carpet, the lawns of our temple. And also in that speech, he would have when he finished the importance of the temple, the vision of our temple was to educate youths and especially who go into the university and CPC, to, so that they could invite the spirituality along with the material academics, and the society could produce gentlemen and ladies. I also remember on that occasion, Panchatattva Mataji would give a nice analogy, a nice comparison. When she said that when she saw our beautiful temple, she remembered Chaupati. That Chaupati temple, our temple is like a model of Chaupati temple. And this was a very, very big compliment for us, the devotees here. I want to say, Mataji, thank you very much for your kind words, your support, and your inspiration for us. I remember also that Krishnam Prabhu, his Dharpatni, and his brother-in-law also visit us on the opening. And the night before, they were also cleaning and get the place in order for our celebration. So what I would just say in close, that because of the sincerity, the dedication, and the hard work of everyone, we could transfer some strokes and circles into a beautiful temple. It will not be possible, or it cannot be possible without the support of every single one, all the devotees. And I remember when the devotees, overseas devotees came, we take strength from them. It's like we were a withered flower. And when they came, their presence was like this fresh, what I want, I'm trying to use an analogy, is that their presence was like a sprinkle for us. That sprinkle that flower needs to just bloom. So when they saw that we were full of energy from running from corner to corner, about and around, we get that energy from all the devotees who were there for us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sanjaya Prabhu, for sharing so much wonderful experiences and your encounters as being part of the project. I'll tell you all something that I don't know how many persons know this, but Sanjaya Prabhu, he used to keep a diary. When he was with the construction, every day he will write what occurred in that day, on that particular day. So I just hope one day that diary gets published as part of the history of Hare Krishna Study Center.
We usually have Transcendental Diary. What would that be called?
We'll have to find out. As he was mentioning also about the vision of this project, to really and truly reach out to the university students from the college universities, I remember one very significant occurrence during the inauguration, which was, this occurred, I think, downstairs in the Prasadam Hall when that VIP dinner event was held. And our dear, I think, Miss Rowe, the headmistress of CPC, would have declared its CPC's collaboration with Hare Krishna Study Center, and for them to work together from there onwards. So that was very special, and that meant a lot for all the devotees for the project here, and we're very, very grateful for that. So now we would like to continue with some melodious kirtan. We would like to invite our dear Devendra Prabhu. He's gonna lead us in some kirtan, and then we'll come back to you. So please join us wherever you are in chanting as we call out on the names of the Lord during this time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Let us put our hands together for Devendra Prabhu for his wonderful kirtan. So next we would like to welcome and invite someone very special to this project. He is no other than His Grace Shyama Chandra Prabhu. So Shyama Chandra Prabhu has assisted, he and his wonderful family has assisted the project during the construction phase, and even after the inauguration, they have been very close with Hare Krishna Study Center. His Grace Shyama Chandra Prabhu is joining us from Panama. He is one of the stalwart leading members of our ISKCON Panama Yatra, and we're very happy to have his presence here. He is with us joining on Zoom, and we'd like to invite him to give us his blessings as we observe this beautiful occasion of the 5th anniversary of our temple. So Shyama Chandra Prabhu, welcome and thank you very much for being here with us. Can you hear us, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. So please go right ahead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharnandar Vishesh Srimati Paschat Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Paramatma Gaur Chandra ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So indeed, I'm very happy to be here amongst everyone on this wonderful occasion of the 5th year anniversary. I mean, the time flies, literally, because still remember our first visit to Guyana, and Prabhu was explaining us and talking about the new project, everything, all the details and all, and today here we are. The project started, the project finished, and everybody's already enjoying that wonderful Vaikuntha atmosphere there. And today, here we are, celebrating the 5th year anniversary of this wonderful and glorious temple, built by not hands, but hearts of all the devotees under the leadership of His Grace Prabhupada Prabhu, his wonderful wife, Vishaka Mataji, wonderful son, Aldev, and everybody, each and every member, Sachishu Prabhu and other members, I don't remember the name, sorry, have put their heart, put their blood, put their sweat to make this wonderful temple. I mean, indeed, I think it's a very fortunate situation where you have a leader like His Grace Prabhupada Dev Prabhu, who is so motivated that every day he wants to do something. Every day he wants a new project. Every day he wants a new event. Every day he wants a party for Krishna, a get together for Krishna, to either do kirtan, or like pandemic time he was doing yagyas and chanting mantras and chanting Gita verses and whatnot. Every time, every week you receive notifications, now Guyana is doing this event, now Guyana is doing this event. So I'm like, when will he get tired? But by Krishna's blessing, Krishna Shakti Vinanahi. So Krishna Shakti is so much, in him, and all his associates, his friends, and his team members, the core team members, and all the devotees, that everybody is surcharged and going ahead, and he's pushing. I mean, I wish I would have somebody like him here in Panama, because rather than me trying to figure out some project or doing that, I would also like that somebody is already programming the whole project and just pushing you that, come on, be a part of this, be a part of this, be a part. Sometimes it's great to just be a part of something rather than being the leader always. I don't know if Prabhupada Dev Prabhu is tired of being a leader and he wants to be a part sometimes. Maybe he wants a Prabhupada Dev above him to lead him also. Or he's happy life. I'm sure he's happy life. But isn't it wonderful? And with that motivation, when we came for the first year, I remember we were welcomed very nicely. From the airport itself, there were some contacts inside the airport, and from there we were driven to the temple that time. And wonderful welcome, wonderful events. There was a 5-day, 7-day Kirtan event, and going on whole day, devotees coming from different parts of Guyana. Always there would be very first-class prasadam prepared and kept covered, and everybody could come, do the service, take prasad, be there, sit there and enjoy Krishna consciousness in that way. And the temple will get full during so many hours. And I remember Prabhupada giving this, motivational talk to everybody, how to come, to do service, to be a part of the team, for the temple opening and what has to be done, and making different, ideas and projects. I've seen many projects start, but this project very, very swiftly, not only started, continued, and concluded very, very nicely. I mean, that's hats off to that, because there are different projects in different areas, different countries, where due to lack of support, lack of cooperation, lack of money, not necessarily all the project goes up. After a few years, they just put it on standby for a long time, for many years. So this Krishna's blessing on all the devotees coming together, helping each other to make this a reality. And I love what Sanjaya Prabhu was saying, that His Holiness Prabhu said, okay, not this year, to next year also, but I know Prabhupada Dev, he had this vision, no, 50 years, that's the year, and he did it. Isn't that amazing? Because, our tendency in general is to escape. Our tendency is to run from difficult situations. That's what happened to Arjuna. When Arjuna was confronted in the battlefield, on the battlefield, in front of him, uncles and grandfathers and masters and personalities who he respected and loved, and his cousins and everyone, the only option came to his mind was escape. And that's what happens to us. We get cold feet. We want to escape any situation, anything big, any big project, any hurdle, any obstacle. Okay, let's escape. But no, you endure. Devotee endure. So Prabhupada and his team has shown, all of you devotees have shown that no, we are not going to escape. We are not going to go back. We are going to go ahead in life. So this is what I heard recently from Sutta Prabhu. He said it's marrying the movement. Right? So, Prabhupada, his wife, his son, and everybody of you, or many of you, have married the movement. So, what does marrying the movement mean? That is to make sure that the movement is expanded at such a level that maximum of the people come to Krishna. Maximum people are given the facility, the spark of the soul expand, so they can come and get connected to Krishna. And this great, beautiful palatial building temple is the proof of that. That here we are, come in touch with us with all the facilities, all the bliss of Krishna consciousness. It's really a blessing. What to talk about just starting a temple and then thriving and keeping everybody together and with that same enthusiasm and motivation going ahead is not easy. It's very, very, very difficult. I remember in one of the trips, I think it was the second trip that I had, we were leaving and Prabhupada was driving us to the airport and he said that if you have people who can die for the project, then you make a temple. And that was quite astounding and quite amazing that, do we have that people? Do we have that manpower who will stay whole day or stay whole night or give his blood and sweat and energy to build something like that for Krishna, for Prabhupada and gift it as an offering and then maintain it nicely and then make sure it thrives, make sure more people are connected to it. So that's really, really applaudable. Like His Grace Chaitanya Chandra said, that our movement is not a museum. That, we have such wonderful, temples, we have such wonderful culture, we have such wonderful different limbs of bhakti like that. No, our movement is a garden. The garden is always expanding. New plants, new leaves, new fruits, new flowers, new seeds. So ever expanding movement is our response. And Guyana has made this a reality. Guyana has made this extend and expand in that part of the world where it can thrive, it can become really, really big and huge. So I love the attitude of all the devotees in Guyana, the way they host, the way they're simple and yet very, very servicial, down to earth. It's so nice that with this attitude everybody has come together and has been able to come up with this wonderful project. And I see it already that as long as there is vision, because Prabhupada is a visionary person and his team has a vision and they are accepting the vision, they are seeing it. Because there is a vision, this will go for a long way. This will not stop over here. It will keep on going and growing because there is a vision. And what we have to do, just be a part of it. That's what we have to do. That's just like Srila Prabhupada sacrificing everything came to the West to give Krishna consciousness to us. Now that the devotees have reached to us, now that we are part of this wonderful movement, what we have to do? We have to just follow. We have to accept. We have to assist. We have to be a part of it, part and parcel. So that's what we have to do. We have a wonderful temple, wonderful setup, wonderful management. Everything is great. Just have the desire, because end of the day, that is what matters. Have the desire. There should be desire, willingness. There should be ability, right? And there should be availability. A gulab jamun, if you want to eat, it has to be available. You have to have the desire to eat it. And your body will have to let you eat it. If it lets you eat it, then you have the ability. So these three things are very important. But first is desire. If you desire that, yes, I want to be part of this big, grand project, I want to be part of this team, I want to be part, no need to be a big part or a whole part, just a minute part. And I really, really appreciate every devotee in Guyana. And I was able to offer a humble service for the project, just like Lord Ram accepted a humble service from the small squirrel who was taking a pebble. He said that also counts very much in making the bridge. So in the same way, a very small pebble was accepted by His Grace Prabhupada from us, and we are happy that we are part of this wonderful Guyana project. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Let's put our hands together. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your words of encouragement and your appreciation. It means a lot for all the devotees here. And we cannot separate Shyama Prabhu and his family from this project. Even from the construction phase, they were there contributing and assisting. So we're very grateful for that, and we're very grateful to have you with us even now as we are observing this wonderful festival. So thank you very much once again, Prabhu. It is always a pleasure. It's always nice to hear from you. So we'll
thank you so much. I do remember that it was, I think, 31st December or 30th December that we had gone to the half-constructed building and done Kirtan over there. I remember we took all the mats that you all are sitting on right now. We took all the mats, walked up the stairs. It was so scary because there was no railing, no veranda, nothing to hold, and we were just going up and up. I think we went to the terrace or somewhere we went, and all the floor it was, we put all over, and so far they said, we're doing Kirtan today over here. All right, let's do it.
So that was during the Kirtan, the 9 days Kirtan Festival.
Yes,
and 15
yes.
December 9 days Kirtan Festival. So it was wonderful that Kirtan was being done here even before the inauguration. That's very
that's how it is. That's how it is.
So nevertheless, thank you, Prabhu, and we're going to continue with a short video presentation. It's a bhajan, and it's being performed by some of the Gurukul boys from our ISKCON Mayapur Center, ISKCON World Headquarters. So let's see what Hari Kirtan has in store for us. So in the meantime, he's getting that ready. We can
Hare Krishna. Shyama Chandra Prabhu ki Jai. Keshava from Trinidad. My love to you and your family. And Hare Krishna to ISKCON Guyana. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jai. So we hope you enjoy that amazing bhajan, Goranga Boliti Navi, by our Shishi Shriram Mayapur Iskan Gurukuli voice. Jai Shishi Paramakarntai Gaura Chandra Ki Jai. So as we are here, we're going to continue to have another presentation, and if you're talking about ISKCON in Guyana, then there are certain names that is there. Naturally, if you talk about ISKCON, Hare Krishna movement in Guyana, there are certain names that are there that you cannot miss. There are certain devotees that, you know, they're always there, they've always been there. And I would like to introduce to you one such individual. He's no other than His Grace Paramatma Prabhu. So Paramatma Prabhu, as one of our most senior-most member of ISKCON Yatra here in Guyana, he has played a very crucial part of this project, has been with the project from the beginning, and he has served, he has assisted in many, many different ways as an advisor, and later on, he would have, for many of our festivals, I do remember him writing articles for our advertising, for different festivals on many different occasions. And even after the project Prabhuji would have been there for the inauguration, and it'll be nice to hear from him tonight of some of his experiences and his takeaway from the entire inauguration festival. And even after, within the last 5 years, Prabhuji has been serving. More recently, he has been part of the financial team, the financial committee of Hare Krishna Study Center, and also he's a member of the board of directors. So let us all welcome Paramatma Prabhu, and we're going to hear from him, and we're going to hear his encouragements and his blessings as he is here with us tonight as we are observing this wonderful festival. Paramatma Prabhu, welcome and thank you very much for being on with us. Over to you.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Sachisuta Prabhu, and all the devotees present in this forum. Prabhupada Dev, his good wife, and everyone else who is in the temple room there. I can't see a shot of a view of the temple room, but I suspect many devotees are in the temple as well. Let me just offer some prayers, and then I'll give my reflections on the 2016 opening of this great project. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paschatya Desa Tadane. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So just like I heard Sachi Sutta when he was speaking, I think it was yesterday, he was mentioning that he was so absorbed in giving his reflections, and he at one point said that he felt as if everything was like yesterday. Having been hearing from all of you so many wonderful reflections and memories of the 2016 opening of the temple, has been passing through my mind. But for me, I was like mostly in the background. I was not like in the thick and thin, and in the forefront. But even though you're in the background, you cannot fail to observe what was going on. I recall the months and months of planning, the great expectation, coming up to the event, and as it was coming closer and closer, the whole atmosphere, was very electrifying. There was that enthusiasm generated, among the devotees, just to serve in whatever way to make the whole event, a great success. I remember reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the word used was Nitya Utsava. It means every day there's a festival, and it refers to the spiritual world, that every day, every morning you wake up, it's a festival. And coming up to the event, that 5-day event, it reminded me of that, the whole festive mood. And, then I could understand the meaning, of having a festival every day, which culminated with Ratha Yatra on the Saturday, and then there was the grand conclusion, the grand finale on Sunday. I remember all the devotees from Chopati who came. I had one special service in serving them prasad. I remember one day I brought them home, just to serve prasad and make them happy, and also to give them the energy, to continue to serve. And a few days we took prasad and we cooked everything. They came downstairs. They helped fetch, all the pots and utensils in their room, and they had a feast there. So I was happy serving, those, who were serving, so diligent and intensely, in the project. Vamandev impressed me, quite a bit. He looks to me. I mean, he was a brahmachari, but he impressed me as a trained professional in festival planning. I saw how he was directing and coordinating all aspects of the program. Of course, supported by all the local leaders and all the local devotees and so many volunteers. I remember the day itself, the big opening day in attendance. There were so many devotees from all over, a wide cross-section of devotees from various neighboring countries, Trinidad, the Suriname, and there were special invitees, from several countries. And within the audience, there were so many high-profile, invitees, from Guyana itself. So, I was thinking, if ever we will be able to duplicate, a program like this, a successful program like this, again, of course, with Prabhupada, everything is possible. So when all this was going on, one event, was unfolding, into another, I was just reminiscing, I was just wondering how the key players, those who are the mastermind behind everything, specifically Prabhupada, names like Sachisuta, Giri Krishna, how they were able to process, all that was going on, with so much people just turning to them, from time to time, from the different departments, for answers, for, directions and like that. So, and what I noticed, even though, there was like, so much pressure, with so many things going on. Sachisuta, Prabhu, I remember he gave a vivid description of, all the work that was going on, even at, the last minute. And I was just, looking at these individuals, even Sachisuta himself, how they kept their cool in the midst of the demand, from all directions, from all of them. I remember each one of them, they had a walkie-talkie, and then one call is coming in here, then another is coming in there, just to, coordinate everything. Before 2016, when the opening, was actually done, there was so much that was happening still, around the Hare Krishna Study Center. And I would like to see that as preparing the ground, but to plant the seed in 2016. At the the opening, I think that was when the seed was actually planted, with a brand new immaculate temple, sort of a showcase, not for Cummings Lodge, but for the whole of Guyana, and not even Guyana, beyond Guyana, for the entire region. So just like a seed, you have to nurture it, then it grows and then it bears, wonderful fruits. With proper nurturance, this project, has the potential, to produce wonderful fruits. And by fruits, you could say, the fruit of, of preaching is, devotees. But, I would like to say more than devotees, I would say this project has the, if we create the right foundation, then that environment, could be there to produce many, many more gem-like devotees, as there are now, way into the future. One thing is that I am very, very convinced about the potential of this project, and there is no limit to what can be done through this project, for the future of ISKCON of Guyana. And I keep saying not only Guyana, for the entire region. I think that at the opening there were many lofty goals and, you could say, vision that were pronounced, and I would say that over the last 2 or 3 years, the vision has been unfolding. A lot was achieved over the years, and in the midst of the in the midst of many setbacks, things were not, things weren't smooth. There was constraints, and like that. But I think that the big test, was last year, 2020, with the onset of the pandemic. But I say that this project, is full of great potential and top leadership, within not Guyana, I would say, within our movement. When you reflect on the achievement for 2020, and I'm taking 2020 because it's a pandemic year, which means that there are lots of reverses. I was given a newsletter to do, and I just compiled the newsletter. So I had the data of all the achievements for 2020, and it's it's astronomical. It's amazing that in a pandemic year, so much was done. For example, last year, the year began with 9 days Kirtan, then immediately after that there was Padayatra, then all the big festivals. I was little involved the entire year, and I could vouch that all the big festivals were observed throughout the year, but not in small way. With big the big festivals with great pomp. Then there was the July Ratha Yatra. In September there was International Shravan Week, the 55th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's arrival. Then Purushottama month comes once every 3 years. So there was the opportunity, to partake and get the benefit of celebrating the month of Purushottama. You could say that was around September, but the year was marred, you could say, with the passing of our dear Prabhupada Krishna, I think in mid-October. But the way it turned out, it was like a celebration of the of his life, of one of our oldest, greatest devotee, I would say, because, you know, he's the father of Prabhupada, and you know, he has to be very, very great to produce a son, you know, like Prabhupada. One of the striking things that happened last year also was we had the first ever live Vyas Puja for His Holiness Satsvarupa Das Goswami. Then there was Gita Jayanti, then the Sunday feast. I mean, 20-25 person on an average, you know, was coming on a pandemic year. There was never closed on, you know, of the Sunday programs. But I think more than all that, there was, you know, on the education front, for example, Bhakti Marg Swami, he did the 9 limbs of Bhakti in January. Then, importantly, big event was in February. The Bhakti Shastri courses was, you know, was launched. Then there was like ongoing online reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then there was a Japa workshop. I think that was done by Mahatma Das. But many big things happened, just like there was virtual lecture by respected high-profile Srila Prabhupada disciples, right, over, you know, a period, just like there was Ramapad Swami, there was Danavir Swami, there was Bhakti Marg Swami, Bhakti Brihat Bhagavat Swami, Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, who is the GBC chairman, I think, this year, Guru Prasad Swami, Bhakti Sundar Swami, all big names and, you know, high-profile devotees, GBCs, long-standing sannyasis. Virabahu Maharaj, I think one Sunday, Radhanath Swami also spoke, Giriraj Swami, and then this electrifying youth, what's his name? Amarendra Prabhu. You know, he spoke one Sunday, I remember that, Vada Hari Prabhu, Gaur Vilas, Pran Govinda. So, and then there were other festivals also, like Shivratri, the Yoga Week, you know, the TV program never stopped on schedule. A double Govardhan Puja, the Diwali light up, different samskars were done. And of course, we have, you know, all the Zoom equipment that were brought that and installed, and, you know, all of our programs were able to be broadcasted far and wide. So, I'm saying that if in a bad year, all these preaching activities, you know, were done, right? And what I just said, if you read the newsletter, you will see this is a fraction that I said. It's just some highlight. There's so much more done, you know, in a bad year. So the undeniable message portrayed, you know, this is my deduction from all that I said, is that it tells me, and it should tell everyone else, of the great potential of this project. Because if in bad time you can do so good, it means that, you know, there's a lot of potential. So I think my time is, you know, is almost up. I could go on speaking some more, but there are 2 setbacks, you know, that I see, or not setbacks, I could say lacking, right, that I think of, only 2. And, you know, those lacking are: 1, I think that not enough support, you know, is given to this project, you know, by, and, you know, I'm saying the devotees of the Hare Krishna Study Center, you know, and those who are part of the community there, but I think the entire Guyana Yatra, right, that is a big lacking, that enough, you know, support in an ongoing way, you know, somehow they haven't, you know, our devotees are not able to just see, you know, the great potential of this project. And, you know, for this reason, one reason or other, you know, that, you know, countrywide support, you know, is not there. And the second setback is that, you know, with so much being offered, you know, by this temple, by this project, not so many devotees again are taking advantage, you know, of, you know, all the wonderful things, you know, that's offered there. I mean, you know, the Zoom lectures, you know, so many things they did, the educational programs, and, you know, it's ongoing. So if there's any lacking, I think, those are the two lacking, right? So in concluding, I want to offer my respects and my gratitude to the leadership of this great project, which I envision, to be the beacon of the mission of Srila Prabhupada in Guyana, and I always say beyond Guyana, the entire region, and not only now, or you could say this juncture in time, but I'm convinced that this project will continue to be the guiding light for ISKCON here, far and deep into the future. So with these few words, I'd like to conclude. I have another class to attend, shortly. So again, I'd like to thank, the management and the leadership of Hare Krishna Study Center for all their wonderful services, all the wonderful things, that they gave and to give us, all of us, this wonderful project where we and our families, could always find shelter and solace and continue the good work. Thank you very much.
So let's put our hands together for His Grace Paramatma Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for those recollections of your memories or experiences, and also to highlight some of the activities that goes on here, and also your words of encouragement and observations. It means quite a lot to all of us, to all the devotees here, and we're very grateful and thankful to you for your continued, you and your family, for your commitments and your continuous support. So I know there are quite a number of persons who are joining on virtually, especially on Zoom, and we're going to open for a few minutes, open the floor. If there are anyone who are on Zoom who would like to give some brief remarks or share something on the occasion, please, here's your opportunity. So you can unmute and go ahead. If there's anyone who would like to share a few words.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Sashi Sultan.
Hare Krishna, Dr. Gomes. Yes, we are hearing you.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I am so happy to and give great pleasure to me to 2 days this event. I am very fortunate, very, very blessed, when our center opened, same year I was participating 7 days, stay in Georgetown. I participated all the event. It was well organized. I would say everybody, this is one of the milestone and remarkable in Guyana history, beautiful our temple. I would thanks to Prabhu and his team did a wonderful job. And also, the Dev Prabhu, his family, fully dedicated to our Hare Krishna Study Center temple. And Sachi Sultan, I could call all the name, but I am very, very happy and very pleased that day in the opening of our temple 7 days program. Whomever would mention about all the Haridas Prabhu, Ugra Prabhu, and our dear friend Paramatma Prabhu, everybody spoke out. I say I am so pleased and so happy to being the part of that event when we opening up our temple. Still, the Prabhupada Dev team working very well organized way. I hope it will continue like that. Always Krishna blessing with us. They are doing wonderful job. I wish to the team, everybody, to continue our service for community. Hare Krishna, I enjoyed. I more pleased with Lord Krishna on the opening of our temple. Hare Krishna, Sachi Sultan and everybody. I enjoyed. Thank you so much. I don't know any word to tell that our people. Everybody spoke out already. I cannot say any more anything. I don't know what to say. But I excited since our temple was open until today. I am so happy. And blessing of Krishna, I always bless with you people. I am so happy. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna to everybody.
Hare Krishna, Dr. Gomes, thank you very much. You're always there and always very supportive in so many ways. You know, many times when you come down here as director of our Barbies University campus, whenever you come down here, you never pass the temple. You always
Yes.
drop in to see how things are going and to ask about the devotees. So wonderful and
Hare
kind
Krishna.
of you. Thank you very much. Is there
Hare
anyone
Krishna.
else?
Thank you so much.
So, as we're coming down to tonight's session, we just like to give you a highlight of the upcoming days. So, as the Kirtan walls are getting set, we're going to have a ecstatic concluding Kirtan. But before that, I would like to share with you for tomorrow evening, we'll be having a Snan Yatra bathing ceremony of Lord Jagannath in the temple room here, and there'll be some more presentations, some Kirtan sessions like that. Then on Friday, we'll continue with more recollections from several devotees, presentations, and then Kirtan will be there, some videos in between. And on Saturday, we will be Ratha Yatra Day. We'll have Lord Jagannath, devotees will get opportunity to prepare offerings for Lord Jagannath and also to pull the ropes, the cart of Lord Jagannath in the temple room. That's for Saturday. On Sunday, we'll have the final program of the final aspect of the celebration, which will be from 10 o'clock Sunday morning, and the program will entail some highlights of some of the achievements of the project over the last 5 years and some of the goals, some projections for the near future, and there'll be some more presentations as well. So in that mood, we're going to continue for the next few days. And today's, we'd like to let you know that today's entire day's offerings and the feast, the flowers, everything for today's observance, today's occasion was being sponsored by Chris Prabhu and his wonderful family. So let's put our hands together for Chris Prabhu. The entire family is here. Prabhuji, his Dharmapatni, his son, Satya Gopal Prabhu. He has been part of the media department, so all of you might be, for many persons who are joining virtually the programs over the last year or so, how is all of this possible? So many of the days, Satya Gopal Prabhu, we lovingly say Chris Prabhu Jr., he has been here behind the computers, behind the cameras, and being throughout the program as giving his time, giving his service. So thank you very much, Prabhu, for your commitment. It means a lot to all the devotees and for many who are joining, especially virtually. Thank you very much, Chris Prabhu, for you and your family's support over the years. It is very encouraging and it is very kind of you. And please continue to be wonderful examples for all of us here at Hare Krishna Study Center. So thank you to the family, and now we would like to invite Mayapur Chandra Prabhu to lead us in concluding in very ecstatic Kirtan this evening. Do remember to join us tomorrow evening at 6:30. We'll begin with Gaura Arti tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Jai Gaur Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mayapur Prabhu, and all other youngsters, Kirtan Walas here. Madhavasham, Devendra, Akash, Sudarshan. Thank you all for such ecstatic, wonderful Kirtan, and I'd like to thank all the devotees who have been here with us for the last 2 hours or so, all those who are joining virtually. I see many persons are there on Zoom, some devotees are there on Facebook. So we'd like to thank you very much. We'll thank all those wonderful devotees who would have made presentations this evening. Sanjaya Prabhu, Chandra Prabhu, Paramatma Prabhu. It was wonderful hearing from all of you. Thanks so much. We'll see you all tomorrow evening as we continue the celebration. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.